Now, I've got man like Raj Kotecha inside the building. What are you saying, man?
We're live already, eh?
We're live already.
Not letting me settle into it. No.
No.
Yo,
no warmings in this place, man. How are you, man?
I'm amazing, dude. It's so good to be back.
Yeah, man.
Still a huge fan of the show.
Yeah.
I feel like last time I came up here, we moved the needle and put down some good knowledge and some good information. So it's such a great privilege to be back. I'm in London in the UK.
Yeah.
For a few days, and no place I'd rather be.
Yeah, man. So it's really good to have you here. We're looking forward to just getting into it, talking about some hustle, really, some hip hop, some music, some marketing. I mean, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and what it is that you do?
So I'm the CEO of a company called the Creative Content Agency.
Yeah.
And I operate in a kind of consultancy / advisory / production role. And I help some of the biggest CEOs in the world get their content and their news out. So with regards to things that they might be doing with expansion or buying and selling their competitors, things of that nature, I work here in the UK and Dubai, Africa, Europe, worldwide. I've also been a DJ for the last 18 years. And so kind of in a nutshell, my story is starting in DJing in 1998, being one of the first dudes on YouTube around 06, 07 to start producing rap and hip-hop interviews in New York, LA, and London. Figured out how that worked and then started kind of selling that to the corporate world.
Yeah. It's an interesting move, kind of going from one thing to another. But what made you want to kind of make that move? Like, moving away from music, DJing is a hard thing for a lot of us. What made you feel that this time is right for me and I want to do that?
In the interim between DJing and being the CEO of this company, there was the need for me to promote myself as a DJ. And when MySpace came along and when YouTube came along, I looked at it and I was like, okay, this is a free opportunity to produce content that will get eyeballs on me. So the kind of fairy tale version of the story is that when I was meeting people like Pharrell and CeeLo and Paris Hilton and all these people, the first reason why I started producing content, as it's called now, was just to show my friends back home, like, yo, I was just with Russell Peters, I was just here, I was just there.
Yeah.
And it was to show friends on my social media, this is what I'm doing. Pictures evolved into videos and video interviews. And I interviewed David Banner and E40 in LA. And all of a sudden, before we called it like YouTubing, vlogging, blogging, it was just putting content online so I could show my friends back home what I was doing. That built my credibility as a DJ because the more people you are seen with, the more interest you get, the more bookings you get, and then it became like a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more content I put out, the more my DJing business grew. And I realized that the same principles of me interviewing celebrities is what I'm putting in place right now, where my clients interview their stakeholders, okay, the big people in their industry, and when they put their content out, although it goes to a much smaller audience, it makes a greater impact because it's going out to folks like bankers, private equity guys, other large CEOs, but the principles are exactly the same. If you see me interviewing the RZA and you take me out and you put my client in, and you take the RZA out and you put a big CEO in, it's the same thing.
Now, going back to your DJ stuff, what we like to put people on the spot here a little bit, don't we, Wes? But like, what would be your top 3 tunes that you used to play out? If you could just pull them out of your hat right now.
The top three tunes that I used
bangers.
To play out.
Yeah, when you were DJing.
That you just get the crowd going the right way.
Yeah, that you used to always draw for, though. Not just tunes that we all know are big, that you used to draw for.
I used to love
which might be different.
I used to love the old school remix of DJ Cool, Let Me Clear My Throat. With all the All-Stars on it.
Nice.
I used to, I had some signature mixes. So I was known for mashing up Empire State of Mind with Wonderwall very, very early. And I think for me, rather than drawing on individual records, because we now live in a post-Serato world, so for the folks out there listening, Serato allows you to DJ digital songs on traditional turntables. I was actually one of the first people to start mashing up. So before they called it open format, I was just plugging in every single record that I could. So I was known for certain mixes and mashups. CeCe Peniston versus Michael Jackson, Drake and Gil Scott-Heron.
Yeah.
Different wild stuff.
Yeah, that sounds
Eddie
sick, man.
Murphy, Axel F theme tune versus Tom Jones.
Yeah.
You know?
He's going crazy now.
One of the first dudes with Soretto in the country.
Yeah.
One of the first, 05, I had Soretto in my hand. I had to brought it imported on a family relative suitcase and just got straight into it.
That sounds like some crazy, slightly dodgy things that was going on, but we won't talk too much about that, man. Now, what kind of music are you really feeling at the moment? I want to dig into that.
I'm so happy that the UK scene is where it is because, I'm 36 right now, and I love the fact that we are in a situation now. In 1998, there was maybe half a dozen to a dozen stellar acts coming out of the UK that were known, but were still very much in the confines of the underground. And every time I come back to the UK, I'm just hearing of more and more artists. Like at the end of last year, I was hearing about like Stormzy, and I know that Skepta's just put out an incredible album. I love the fact that Chip is coming out as an independent with his like kind of like he's back in the ring section. I love the fact that UK does it, because I think that the UK music that's coming out right now, call it grime, call it urban, whatever you want to call it, it's got an energy that's just a slightly closer frequency to the way we've been raised in the UK. It doesn't mean that I don't love what's going on in the US, and I'm a fan of old school hip hop. I'm a fan of mumble rap and everything in between, the auto tunes and the battle pack rap, you know, the backpack rappers. But I'm really big on this UK sound at the moment.
So we got my man Raj Kotecha up in the place, man. How stoked are you about just what's going on with Craig and his return to the UK scene?
I mean, nostalgia is what it's all about right now, right? Like if you look at the trends right now, like it breaks my heart that I used to have in the 90s, so 20 years ago, the first time round, the full-size shell jackets, YSL, the Armani t-shirts, and now if you have those still in the plastic wrapping, that goes for big money. And everything runs in a 20-year cycle. If you remember, in the 90s, people were obsessed with bell bottoms like the 70s. I'm happy because Craig David, the whole garage movement's going to have a massive resurgence, I think, as we go back towards the end of this decade.
Oh, it's had it, man. It's been having it the last 2 years. Garage is just like massive, and has been. It is just, it's great. Like, because I play at their events and I saw it, you know, obviously I was there when it kind of went away, and then it was on the underground, and then sort of about 5 years ago, I started playing for Garage Nation. And the crowd over the last 4 years has changed. It's got bigger. They do more events. You know, they started doing festivals and touring around the country and whatever. Dubai, Amsterdam, like crazy stuff. Yeah,
I've been at the Dubai shows.
Yeah, crazy, right? But the mad thing is, I just kept seeing the crowd at the beginning. So 4 years ago, it was like an older crowd, 27, 29, 30, whatever. And I just saw it get younger and younger and younger to a stage where now there's 18-year-olds in there raving to like MC Neat, DJ Lark, whoever it might be, do you know what I mean? And some of the newer DJs as well, people like Cartier and that. And that's when you know a scene is healthy, because you've got young cats coming into it. They know the music, they're loving the new tunes, they're buying tickets, they're bought into the brand, they're buying the albums, they're going to the festivals. It's wicked, man. So Garage is just, it's great to have it back. It's like a full cycle. It's like what you said, you know.
There's also a situation where if you look at just the strict economics of the music as well, like there is so much choice that actually somebody doesn't care whether whether a Young Thug record came out 2 days ago or a DJ Luck MC Neat record came out 16 years ago. They discover it when they discover it. So everybody discovers music and trends on a personal basis, because the radio stations and the record labels and the TV channels don't dictate the programming and the distribution of records anymore. And I think that's the reason why you're seeing that, is that 18-year-old is probably having a very similar first garage experience that you did back in 1999. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Yeah,
it is wicked, man. It is such a great thing to see. Now, I do want to get into some more marketing talk with you. So where do you see the kind of the industry now and kind of how things are progressing?
I think the last 5 years has all been about DIY. And I think the first thing you need to think about as an artist in this industry is how many apps and services online are free that you can just start using straight away. So I'm specifically talking about MailChimp, like MailChimp as in email, so M-A-I-L, Chimp, C-H-I-M-P, will allow you to have a database of 2,000 email addresses, and it will allow you to send up to 10,000 emails. So that, imagine that's like 5 sends per month for free. And off the back of that, you can see who's opened your email, what devices they've opened your email on. So I think the industry is amazing, because it used to be the case that email marketing companies would sell their services to the record label, and the record label then decides they want to put some of that budget on your act. Whereas now you can get MailChimp on board for free. You've got websites like Squarespace where you can put your bio and your songs up there. You can upload half an hour's worth of music onto SoundCloud, and literally just by patching and stitching stuff together using free apps, you can do it yourself. And that, in the marketing world that I come from, is called proof of concept. If you can prove that you can drive 500 or 1,000 or 1,500 plays to your music, then you can then scale it up. So I think we're in a great place in the industry, because the market dynamics about if you're successful or not are working perfectly in a balanced way at the moment.
I mean, in terms of things like email marketing, for example, you know, I've managed a few artists myself in my time, and email marketing plays such a big part. People want to send these mail outs to hundreds of thousands of people, and like you said, things like MailChimp is perfect for people. But there's a thin line between getting it bang on and getting it terribly wrong. What do you think is the best way to send out an email to your potential fans?
I think you need to do one thing which is really important, which is what me and my cousin Vic did week in, week out when we were building Love Soul, which is the DJ brand that I came up with, which is that as soon as you see what you think is a good email that made you feel a certain way or made you behave a certain way, forward that email on to 5 people that think like you and 5 people that don't, and be like, this email got this response from me, or this Twitter campaign got this response from me, or this artwork used in a Facebook advert got this response from me. This is the reason why I think it's happened. Did it have the same effect on you? If not, why not? If so, why so? Higher, lower, gauge it, and have that immediate committee around you. Now that committee, if you're a young rapper right now, might be 5 other rappers. Okay, or if you're a young DJ, might be 5 other DJs and 5 other rappers and 5 other producers and 5 other singers and 5 other club promoters. But you've got to figure out and quickly reverse engineer what it is that's making these marketing assets, right? These marketing items make you behave a certain way. Learn from it, extrapolate, and then implement it into your own campaign. And actually, in that sense, you can out-innovate the labels.
So it's kind of like surveys. It's kind of like, taking a kind of cross-section of people that you may know. It might be your brother, it might be a cousin, my aunts, uncles, whoever, and just kind of finding out what worked and, like you said, what moved them and kind of what makes them do things.
It's basic deconstruction. So when you review a football match, at the end of a football match, you're like, well, you're sat with your boys that all like football, okay? And you're discussing the last 20 minutes of the game. If you're into Jordans, you're sat with your homies that like Jordans and you're breaking down the different aspects of the new Jordans that came out. You need to find your Jordans/football clique for marketing. You need to find the hustlers, and if that means you've got to get rid of certain people in your life to make room for these new hustlers, then that's what you do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So the wife is gone, the girlfriend's gone.
You know how you were not going on record saying certain things. I'm not going on record saying get rid of your significant other. But what I'm saying is that the clues are in what works already. You know what I'm saying? You can look at an email from Cadbury's around Easter and figure out how you can use that to promote your single, or how you can use that to promote your dance troupe, or your new mixtape, or your new live show, or your new comedy event. You know what I'm saying? You can use it to figure out how to sell a burrito.
Yeah.
Because the clues are in what if it makes you feel a certain way and you can market to yourself, if you break that down and implement it in the market, you can expect similar results.
Yeah. Now, we still got my man Raj up in the studio. How you doing, sir? You feeling all right?
Amazing. I feel like saying, turn my headphones up, these big headphones.
Yes, we can turn them up. How's that?
That's amazing. That's great.
All right, yeah. Turn my headphones up.
I'm doing amazing, man. I feel, it feels better even than the first time.
Yeah.
The energy is so good in the studio.
Yeah, man, for real. That's what we try and create. Now, how long have you been in the UK on this recent jaunt that you've been back?
Less than a week. So it's Diwali and New Year, so shout out to all my Hindus, Happy Diwali and Sal Mubarak to all you guys, if you know what that means. And I was supposed to be on schedule. I was supposed to be in Dubai this week, and I just crept back on the low. Didn't check in on social media. Surprised my mum and dad. So that was good.
Oh, that's cool, man.
That's
nice.
Yeah, man. So everyone who follows me online is just like, yo, this guy's just hustle. I'm aware. I do little nice things now and again. But I did, on Diwali I was at my laptop the whole day and New Year's. But it's about finding the balance, and I really think about that a lot now. Doing 18 hours a day every day only leads to being in hospital, so don't believe the hype,
Yeah. And it just makes you you just don't have a still mind when you're doing stuff like that, because when you go to bed it's like wearing, so you can't sleep anyway, and then it's just kind of a downhill. So you've got to take breaks, and you've got to have time for friends, family and recreation. And
so we were speaking about free technology earlier on, right? It was about MailChimp and Squarespace. When it comes to your mind running, check out an app called Headspace.
I've heard of this.
You download it, you put your earphones in, and you do what it says for 10 minutes. And you get 10 guided meditations. And for all of you out there that are putting mad work in, 1 job, 2 jobs, or just having a bit of a stressful time at the moment, that's a great app. Really one to watch out for. Headspace.
Someone was definitely telling me to download it, because that's me at the moment. But I was just thinking, on one level, if I'm going to plug something in and just be told what to do for 10 minutes, I can get that from my missus, all day and night. Like, I don't need to download, so I get that
the
anyway.
difference is that's a calming voice to listen to me at, not a constant yelling.
Yeah, just that tone. Just like. So yeah, man. Okay, I mean, what else do you think is important? Like, kind of any apps you can recommend or anything like that is maybe good for hustling or building a business or marketing or.
The best thing for hustling, and this actually came off the back of our first interview when we had this conversation. You were like, are there any particular people that you should check out? And I said, make sure you check out Gary Vaynerchuk, Seth Godin, Guy Kawasaki, Joe Polizzi, Tony Hsieh, Robert Scoble is one of my good friends. Like, I think more than individual apps, we now live in a time whereby there is so much free thought leadership available that you should just deep dive right into that, because if you look at things like the Tim Ferriss show, there are so many different subjects that you can go into and learn about, and there's no way that 1 hour, 2 hours later you don't feel smarter or ready to try something a bit different. And another thing, I want to make a prediction. I was just having this thought, right? You know how in the US you've got Joe Budden and Nori, and they've all got podcasts now?
Yes.
I think we're pretty close to that happening with the UK.
I agree 110%.
I think right now, with Tiny Temper being as glossed up and shined up as he is, and not all American, but the great British rapper, right? I think right now, if he was to now start launching his own podcast, there'd be marketing dollars supporting that straight away.
Yeah.
Dizzy Rascal, very elusive. If he was to start having, and I'm not talking about going in the way Nori or Joe Budden have, where they're competing with Rap Radar and
just dissing
1F.
each other all the time.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
talking
great.
about that. I'm talking
It's
about
great.
they come out and Dizzy Rascal says, I'm putting out my first podcast season. It's 12 episodes and it's sponsored by Hennessy.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it could just be Dizzy and friends, because the UK works together now so well.
Yeah.
That'd be Dizzy, Stormzy, whoever. But I think the guy to do it that would be Stormzy probably. He's the most forward-thinking, nice guy, kind of out of the current bunch, and I think he would kill it, man.
Yeah,
he'd be great.
But I wanted to take this opportunity, especially on this radio station, to take that prediction, because you can often map what's happening in the US to what eventually trickles down into the UK in terms of trends, and I think we're going to see that trend soon. And I think the first established rapper who's got some legacy, who launches a podcast, is going to win and win big, and that is a massive race to have an early advantage on.
So you heard it here first, right?
That's
here on West Side.
What are you guys thinking about? I mean, look, I'm around the world 8-9 months out of 12. You tell me what's happening in the streets. Like, I come out to stuff like this to find out what's going on. You guys are fully connected into the clubs and the streets. Like, what do I need to be thinking about? Where's the next check?
Where's you want to take this?
Well, I mean, for me personally, it's a good thing you brought up. You mentioned Gary's name, but you've also mentioned the podcasts. I think that's definitely forward thinking. It's something that me and Illitek have actually spoke about quite a lot.
Right.
Is doing things like a podcast. I've wanted to do one for years now, and that's all inspired by people like the Brilliant Idiots.
Here's the
people like
question:
Taxstone.
Why is it taking you years? Why have you not done it for the last few years?
Because I'm waiting for the right people to be around me for it. And I know I can do it by myself, no problem. I can do that, but I'll hold my hands up and say that I need someone who's like-minded like myself. I've had this idea of other people who aren't on the same wavelength as me. I'm a hard worker. I haven't been around hard workers.
But here's the thing: you can just self-start. I mean, we don't have to do like a live therapy session right now, but the reality is,
Get on that couch, man. Let's just get a couch in here.
For every guy or girl out there in Radio Land that says that, there is another person right now who's just talking into their phone, just him and his man, or him and his girl, or two girls, whatever, 5 or 6 people, right? And they're creating something right now called the UK Squadcast. Okay, forget podcast. They're creating a Squadcast, and no matter how well that does, if that gets 9 downloads, that's a 9 download advantage on you. So what you're saying is not a real.
That's true.
It's not a real excuse.
Perhaps my thing is I overthink it. I think I've overthought it.
Well, you have just started a radio show in the last 3 weeks, so I think you got that going on.
I'm on the way.
Like, if you see my original interviews, guys, with E40 and David Banner and Collie Buds, they are awful. And I'm talking, I look so awkward and so terrible. You can go back and see these, and it's just like grainy and it kind of sucky, right? But now, 10 years later, I can point people back to that and be like, well, here's my credibility. I'm not saying it was good, but I'm saying I had a seat at the table. And that 10 years has given me an advantage now to become the CEO of a creative content agency. So no matter how good it is, because you're thinking about good being the parameter, and it's not, it's about starting. Once you start, you figure out, even if you delete your SoundCloud 12 months later, that's okay. But get in the game, because you need these bruises, cuts, and scratches to figure out who you're going to be 5 years down the line. And it's all about long term. It's all about long term. Don't worry about making mistakes. You know what? You've got people making like sex tapes and they're ignored 10 days later. So you messing up a podcast to 200 people, you don't need to worry about this. In today's world, attention recycles so quick that you're assuming that any mistake you make will be remembered for life, and it just won't. But you'll get the advantage of starting.
I don't know, man. I mean, this is turning into real therapy, by the way. It's turning into real therapy.
Why,
it's really good to
you're
hear
on a couch, you're just
it's really
getting
good,
the
it's really
doctors
good
here.
to hear this, because for me personally, it was always like a confidence thing, right, for me. For me, it's always been a confidence thing. But I tell you what, and like, props to Ilitech, props to Pedro, and props to Westside for obviously developing the platform for me to come in and share my mind. This has done wonders for my personal confidence, and now I'm more than happy to take what you say on board, go away, talking to my phone. As I said, I'm overthinking it. I'm thinking all this. I'm thinking all this sort of proper professional studio atmosphere. But you're right, you can just take your iPhone, talk into it, talk whatever's on your mind, and you know what? Someone listen to it.
Now we are talking to marketing extraordinaire, man like Raj Kotecha inside the place. How can people get in contact with you if they need to, Raj?
If you can spell my name is my business card and my phone number and every single way getting hold of me. So my name is spelled R-A-J, that's my first name. Last name K-O-T-E-C-H-A. So R-A-J-K-O-T-E-C-H-A. If you can type that into Google, you'll find all my social media accounts.
Yeah.
But that is my Snapchat, that is my Instagram, that's the name that you need to type into Facebook search to find me. So yeah.
Wicked, man. Now if someone is young, maybe they're a teenager or like early 20s and they're just dying, you know, sometimes you can just have a dream and have an idea, or maybe you don't have an idea but you know you want to do something. You always feel like you're on the cusp of something. Is there any advice I'm sure you can relate to that, looking back at your career, points in your career. Is there any advice you can give that person on just a way to start up and get into something?
Well, as I mentioned before to Wes, like, you just need to firstly just start and not have any kind of preconceptions or prejudices towards yourself as to what the outcome's going to be. The majority of entrepreneurs and people that are hustling now generally build their own hurdles in front of themselves. For example, like, it might not be right, people might not like it. So firstly, wash that directly out the way. And secondly, make sure that you've got some money that's coming in whilst you're doing your other thing. Now, for a lot of people, that's getting a job. But I'm a big believer right now, Ilitech, that you can just make 10,000 on the side.
Yeah.
And I'm talking easily for anybody out there that's listening.
And does this involve any illegality?
No.
Don't have to put no one on road.
This is the best time to make legal money. The way that you do it is that if you look at apps like MailChimp and you look at websites like Squarespace, right? Let's just pull 10 grand out of the sky right now for anybody listening on the radio.
Right, Wes,
okay?
Look it up, yeah? Wes,
MailChimp.
Make the calls.
MailChimp will allow you to send 2,000 emails, have a database of 2,000 people and send that up to 10,000 emails a month, which is 5 sends a month.
Yep.
If you go up to any personal trainer who's busy being a personal trainer, any masseuse, any salon owner, any place that, you know, cuts hair, does the, you know, anybody who's a dog walker and says, hey, too busy to manage your own email? For 50 quid a week, I'll manage your email list of 400, 500, hey, anything up to 2,000.
Yep.
Because it costs you nothing.
Yeah.
And for 50 quid a week, you've now got £200 a month managing someone's email. They're happy because their emails are being sent on PC, tablet, mobile, because that's what MailChimp does. But this is a good... If I was 18 right now and I were to come up with an extra 5-6 G's a year, I'd go onto squarespace.com, I'd come to you and say, hey, Wes, you're an up-and-coming broadcast personality. Do you have time to do your own website? You want to start this podcast? You were telling me about this before, right? So I come up to you right now and say, right, Wes, you can be completely hands-off as my client. I will record your podcast on my phone, edit it down, okay, using my own PC, put it on SoundCloud for you, distribute it to the 300 email addresses that you give me, which is your folks, your uncle, your friends from school, your old teachers, the people that listen to you on the radio, and I'll put up a Squarespace website for you, which will be, let's say, wesywes.squarespace.com. That website I can put up for 2 weeks for free, okay? If you want to buy it, you give me 300 quid. I take 100 quid, give it to Squarespace, make 200 net for myself, and that's up front, and then I'm making £50 a week managing your emails and your SoundCloud. So you're hands off, you're seeing the growth in your brand and your business, but I'm doing the work. And off the back of that, I'm making 250, 300, 350, 400 a person. Now when you're making now think about that per year. If you're making, let's say, 400 person per Wes, okay, you only need 25 Weses to
I
make
love the
10
maths,
grand.
by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's, or you could find not a Wes, but you could find somebody who's worth double a Wes, who pays you 1,000 a year. Okay, or quadruple, who pays you 2,000.
So it's that
you only
whole-
need 5 of those. We live in a world right now where even if you just play in the free zone of all these major marketing apps, you can make money for other people
Yeah.
and profit from the difference. Your time, which is expensive to you because you're here working or in clubs or doing whatever you're doing.
Hairdressing.
Hairdressing. I can
He's doing
take
nails,
that.
basically. He wants to move into hairdressing, but yeah.
And let's focus on a hairdresser if we need to, right? Even if it's a hairdresser, that hairdresser is making money by the amount of time that their chair is full and they're cutting hair.
Yeah.
So they haven't got time to run their website, run their social media. Just being the middle person for that, the same way that 20 years ago you might be a middle person who can get product A and sell it to buy low, sell high. Now it's use the app for free, sell it at a price, and everything is margin in between. And finding somebody who's going to pay you £500 a year is nothing.
Yeah.
If you know how to use MailChimp. And guess what? There's lots of MailChimp tutorials for free on YouTube. There's
Yes,
lots
sir.
of Squarespace tutorials for free. There's SoundCloud ones and how to optimize that, how to manage Instagram. Dude, if you're good with a camera and you've got 2, 3, 4,000 followers on Instagram and you're complaining about getting money, why not just go to a local gluten-free bakery or
Yeah.
organic coffee store and be like, I've just taken these 20 pictures. Do you want them? I'll sell them to you at £5 a pop. And that's £100 you've made right there. We are living, it's a gold rush, guys. It's a real, actual gold rush right now for content, and it's going to go away.
Yeah.
As we move into a world of virtual reality and artificial intelligence and robot learning and AI and all that kind of stuff, we're now going to be consuming content on different devices. And the opportunity to get content onto this device with the skill sets that we have as DJs and entrepreneurs and artists, that's going to disappear in 15 years. The same way that Little X won't get 500,000 for a music video the way he did 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Content has a lifespan, trends have a lifespan. Get it whilst it's here and get as much of it as you can, because I am.
We've had Raj in the place today. Raj, thank you so much, man. Everyone, round of applause
Thank you.
inside the studio. Woo! Thank you so much for coming down, man. Really appreciate it. As always, time has just gone so quickly that we haven't been able to. But you gave out your contact details. Give them out to people once more, social media particularly. So if people want to carry on the conversation and talk to you, they can do.
So maybe we can tweet out from your Twitter right now, but it's at Raj Kotecha. So RajKotecha.
Yep.
If you can spell my name anywhere on the internet, you will find me. And listen, I reply back to tweets, emails, any which way you can get hold of me.
Yep.
I'm interested. The reason why I put all this content out for free and the reason why we've got so many people here like filming and stuff right now, like big up to Armsy and Arjun and Abs. Like, I put this content out for free because I'm looking for people to see this on YouTube and for these hustlers to step up and let me know who they are. Do you know what I mean? Shout out to Shamika Hombres as well for posting on my Facebook.
Hot tight hombres, man. Hot tight Abs, who's killing it with the camera in the corner, man. You are absolutely doing a great job there. You're working hard.
Isn't this amazing, though, that the first interview I did here at Westside FM, he was the only one here with me filming, and now he's chilling because he's got his own, Live Ent London, right? He's got his own company now. He's laying in the cut watching me do my thing.
Sick.
Other guys are... So it's a process, right?
Yeah. Well done, man. You're like a PUA now. You were an apprentice before, now you've gone into the PUA side.
Leaders create leaders. And what you were talking about, building your confidence. Confidence is a series of small successes. Do the smallest thing you can, flip it, cut it, go again.
So true, man. Wise words.
true.
Right, Raj, thank you so much for coming
Big
in, man.
up Illatech, man.
Now,
What
if there's
what
a tune...
show.
Oh, sorry, bro. If there's a tune that we can play for you, if there's anything, I want to put you on the spot. What can we drop for you
Play
right
me
now?
anything you got clean off that Pablo album, because when I was doing World with Gary Vaynerchuk, that Life of Pablo album was my soundtrack. So if you don't have anything off that,
Didn't you want some Gangstar or something
if
like
you've
that?
got Gangstar, you got work.
Because I've got that. Yeah, I've got that queued up.
Illatech mapped what I said.
We prepared this off there.
He mapped it. No, because I didn't know if we had
You
that
killed me,
confirmed.
you killed
but
me,
yo,
yeah,
listen, Gangstar, rest in peace, Guru. Met him, nice guy. Big up to Premier, and everybody who's been supporting me as well. I know that this is going on YouTube. I want to give a fat shout to everybody who's been supporting me since 1998, since I was hustling tickets on the streets in Manchester, right the way through to now, and where we're about to go. So stay tuned. I appreciate it. Big up everyone listening.
That's right, man. It's West Side. We've got Grime Sessions coming up at 10.
Are you working?